Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Latoya and I would love to have you be a part of my ever-growing band of misfit toys. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my next installment of my foundation series. I decided to switch things up a little bit in this installment of my foundation series and do a battle of the foundations. As you know, Fenty came out with their original soft matte longwear foundation, and now they have the hydrating longwear foundation, and I decided that I am going to be using both of these foundations in this video, see how they match up, because the shades are supposed to match up 1 for 1. If you are 410 like I am in this foundation, then you should be 410 in this foundation as well. So I'm going to be doing half of my face with this foundation and half of my face with this foundation, and I'm also going to be doing that with the primers. I'm going to be doing the hydrating primer on the matte side and the mattifying primer on the hydrating side and see what the wear is like. Of course, I'm going to be doing a wear test to let you see how the foundations wear throughout the day. And at the end, we'll see which side is better, which side works for my skin type with these new primers. Of course, I do love the original foundation with the primer, and it's like literally bulletproof for me, so I already know that I like it that way. We're just gonna see it with the new hydrating primer to see maybe if it doesn't make it look so matte and so drying, if you will, for certain people, and if it could work for different skin types because of this new hydrating foundation. Likewise, I can see if the new hydrating foundation will work for my skin type by using the new mattifying primer that they have. So if you would like to see this video and like to see how these products perform on me, then please keep watching. In the interest of saving time, I already have my eyes done, and now we can get in to the foundations and primers. I don't want to mix or cross-contaminate the foundation, so I will be using 2 separate beauty blenders to apply them. I'm also going to be using the same beauty blender for the concealer and the setting powder because it's going to be the same products for that. Let's go through the products. First up, we have the Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. This is in the shade 410. It has 32 mils or 1.08 fluid ounces and a 12-month shelf life. It comes in a frosted bottle, and of course, it has a pump, which is very much appreciated. Next up, we have the Soft Silk Pro Filt'r Hydrating Primer, and this is what it looks like. This is one of the 2 new primers, and I will be using this primer with the original foundation, which is a soft matte foundation. It has 30 mils or 1 fluid ounce, and it also has a shelf life of 12 months. On the right side of my face, I'm going to be going in with these 2 products, the new Soft Silk Hydrating Primer and the original Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. Like the original foundation, this primer comes with a pump as well. It is in a frosted glass bottle, and it has that millennial pink shade to it. I'm not sure if that is the actual color of the product or maybe a tinting of the bottle itself, and the pump as well as the lid has that millennial pink color, which is super pretty and super feminine, and I love it. So let's check out this primer. Oh, it is indeed the color of the primer. That's that pale pink. It is a pretty thick consistency. I think a pump is more than enough for my face, so I'm gonna start by putting it on here, a little here, and half of my face is gonna be with this primer and the soft matte foundation, and the other half is gonna be with the new foundation and the mattifying primer, because I know my skin. I have oily combination skin, so I don't want to set myself up by using a hydrating or even just a mattifying and a mattifying, because that's just going to be a little bit too much. Okay, now we're going in with the foundation. I'm going to get my beauty blender. I'm going to start off with, I would say, a pump. I have applied the foundation to this side of my face, and that looks a little bit crazy, but that's okay. I also put some on my neck, and as I said, we're going to be doing half and half. This one you have to work with pretty quickly because it does dry down super fast. I guess that's what makes it so long lasting and like literally bulletproof. Get my forehead here. That is the first side done with the original soft matte foundation. I already love this foundation, so I'm just letting you guys see what it looks like. And next we'll be going in with this side, which will be the mattifying primer and the new hydrating foundation. Okay, I'm going to be going in with this right here. It is the new True Matte Pro Filter Mattifying Foundation. As I said, I'm oily in combination in my T-zone, so I did not want to put a hydrating primer with a hydrating foundation because that is a recipe for disaster with me. So I'm going to be using this mattifying primer, and it has the millennial pink color that Fenty is very famous for. This is a milky white color bottle, and it's also frosted glass. The last one was pink, and that was the color of the primer. I'm sure that this one is going to be a milky white kind of a color. Let's see what this primer is looking like. Oh, as you can see, it is a milky white formula, and it's super runny, unlike the soft silk one that I just used for this side of my face, which was very much on the thick side. So I'm gonna put this on. Put this up here, here, a little bit on the nose, a little bit on the chin. It feels nice. They all have this very mild, I think, floral scent to them, which is good. It doesn't feel particularly mattifying right now, but we will see once it dries down. Okay, so the left side of my face is nice and primed. It's been settled in. Now it's starting to feel more mattifying. And of course, we're going to be going in with a brand new clean beauty blender for this side and this foundation. If I didn't say it before, I'm in the shade 410, and the shades are supposed to match up for the soft matte foundation and this range as well. So we will see. Alrighty, let's apply this. Pretty much looks the same already, I think. Okay, I have applied the foundation, and now I'm going to blend it in. This, I don't know if this feels particularly hydrating. This is the hydrating side all blended in, and boy is it hydrating. So these are both of the sides. I think because the left side is so dewy and this side is so matte that it's hard to sync up the colors, because this essentially is staying wet and this is pretty much dried. So I'm not sure about it yet, but I'm going to apply concealer and all of my other face products and see how that goes. I'm going to be using all Fenty, and I'm just gonna kind of speed through me using these products, and I will show them, of course, and list them in the description bar down below. Now they're starting to look closer to each other. Okay. Let's go in with concealer. I'm going to be going in with the Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Concealer in the shade 380. That is the concealer blended in. Now we're going to be going in with the under eye setting powder. This is the Pro Filt'r Mini Instant Retouch Setting Powder. I got this for my travels. That's why I have a mini, and it's in the shade Cashew. I'm not baking because that is not for me. I have super dry under eyes, so I'm just going to be pressing it into my under eyes. That is under eye setting powder on. I think that's looking pretty good and pretty cohesive so far. Side of my face still looks a little bit warmer and it's still super dewy except for the areas where I powdered. Next up, we're going to be going in with the Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Setting Powder, and this is the big guy and it's in this shade Hazelnut. I'm going to be using a brush to apply this powder. Next up, we're going to be going in with the new bronzers by Fenty Beauty. This is the Sun Stalker Instant Warmth Bronzer in the shade Cocoa Naughty. I'm going to be going in with a fluffy brush like this and applying the bronzer. Okay, this is what the bronzer is looking like on the matte side or the soft matte side and the hydrating side. I think it's all starting to come together. My eyebrows decided that not only did they not want to be twins, they didn't even want to be distant relatives today, but I can't be bothered. So yeah, next is highlighter. I have the Afternoon Snack Mo Honey Kilowatt highlighter. I'm going to be using that. I love these highlighters. It's a duo, so it has a more subtle side, which is the Afternoon Snack side, and then the Mo Honey is the more like metallic side. So I'm going to go in with the more chill side. And that's not necessarily chill, but you know, it's not as bam in your face. It's gorgeous. Poppin'. I might have went a little bit, actually there's no such thing as going a little bit too crazy with highlight, but this is the finished face. You get the soft matte side, the hydrating side. It is all like blended together. Let's see how that wears. But before that, I need a lip color. In keeping with the whole theme of the Fenty face that I have going on, I'm going to be going in with lips next, and I have, oops, all of these colors in the Stunna lip paints. I also have all of these in the Matte Mademoiselle lipsticks, so I'm going to pick a color and I will be right back. I wanted to go for something a little bit different because I'm always doing like nudes and reds and the usual colors. So I'm going in with the Matte Mademoiselle lipstick in the shade One of the Boys. Does that look a little crazy? It might, but I don't care because I like that. Yes. So this is the finished look. All right, what time is it right now? Can you see that? It is currently 5:27 p.m. I don't have that much time for check-ins, but I'm going to try to do, well, I'm definitely going to do one check-in. So yes, I will let you know how things go in about 5 or 6 hours. So that'll give me about, what time? Maybe about midnight. I'll try to come back and do something if I can stay up that late. Anyways, as of right now, this side is feeling really good. This is the hydrating side, and I love the look of it as well. It's really nice. And the soft matte side, of course, I love it. It feels great. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing foundation with either one of them. I was concerned about the hydrating one because it wasn't drying down, and it is super hydrating. They did not lie with that name, which is fine because not everyone has my skin type and other skin types need to be catered to as well. I'm really glad that they came out with this foundation. So yes, I am going to go about my business, and I will come back to you and let you know how this foundation has fared throughout my day. I'm back and it is sweltering, as you can tell by my face. This is my one and only check-in. It is now, can you see that? 12:42, so that makes it a little over 7 hours of wear and surprising results. Actually, I have had something to eat, I've been driving around, and yeah, it's very humid here, so I didn't expect my face to look like this, but it does. It's a lot oilier than it usually would be, and I'm gonna go through it with you. So this side is the hydrating foundation with the mattifying primer, and this side is the original soft matte foundation with the hydrating primer. And as you can see, it's a lot oilier over here than it is over here. So the hydrating primer is not going to be for me really at any given time, maybe for the perimeters of my face, but I have other primers that can take care of that, so I don't necessarily need this primer. But the mattifying primer did a really good job on the hydrating side, which I think is great. I think for the soft matte foundation that I would probably just use the original primer. I forget what it's called. I think it's soft matte primer as well, because hydrating just made me look like you can fry an egg on my face. Over here is oily, but that is the amount of oil that I would expect after 7 hours of wear. This, however, is really intense. Like, my pores are very accentuated and in your face, and I'm going to zoom in right now so that you guys can have a closer look. Okay, we are really up close and personal. So I have oil up here. This is highlighter, of course, so don't pay attention to that. But in my brows, and that usually happens especially after this amount of time. Now with the original side, let's have a look. Do you see how oily it is all throughout here, like on the side of my nose? And it's like super shiny, and even like this, my chin where I have that foundation, it is crazy. My pores are like popping, like, hi, how are you? I'm here to stay. I don't like that. So I use this foundation all the time, and this has never happened. It's definitely the primer. So the primer, the hydrating primer, is a definite no for me and for my skin type, which is combination oily in the T-zone. Now let's go over to the hydrating side with the mattifying primer. I am really impressed with this. I love the fact that my skin looks glowy and not ultra matte, and there is a little bit of oil, but it's just right here in the corner of my nose, and it hasn't extended onto my cheek, unlike this side right here. See the difference? It is crazy. But this side is the winner, and I'm definitely going to be continuing to use the hydrating foundation with the mattifying primer, discontinuing use of the hydrating primer. Of course, I'm going to keep using the soft matte foundation because I love that formula for my skin type, but this really is super surprising, and yeah, it performed really well. So if you have my skin type, pick up the primer or get your own mattifying primer that you usually use and the foundation in your shade, and you will be good to go. That is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. Of course, hit the subscribe button before you go, and the notification bell, turn it on to all so that you will be notified when I upload my next video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.